UFC 278, Usman vs Edwards 2 takes place in only a matter of hours, and I'm going to go through my last minute detailed prediction and breakdown for every single fight on the card. I'm not just saying who I believe is going to win, I'm saying how every single fight on the card is going to play out. I'm going to call what limb will be used for a KO blow, what round it will take place in, what submission will be achieved if there is going to be a submission, what the scorecards are going to read if we make it to a decision as well, and just in general how every single minute of every single fight on the card is going to play out, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. Let's start straight away with the early prelim opener of Daniel Da Silva versus Victor Altamirano. I think this is going to be a very sloppy, chaotic fight, and I think that Victor Altamirano is going to win this one via 29-28, unanimous decision. I think early on, Daniel Da Silva is going to give Victor Altamirano some problems. I think he might take him down immediately, and they scramble and end up back on their feet, and all of a sudden, Daniel Da Silva's starting to land some pretty good shots on Victor Altamirano. Victor's landing some leg kicks and some body kicks and some punches as well. However, Daniel Da Silva is landing a couple of shots that are getting like a big reaction out of Victor Altamirano. He starts to fall in love with that. He starts to land a lot of boxing combinations early in that first round. Maybe he takes down Victor again at the end of the first round, and on the way back up, he lands a couple of shots in the clinch, and Victor separates and lands a good leg kick again and a good body kick. And I think as the fight goes on, we're going to see Daniel Da Silva start struggling to get some takedowns. Victor Altamirano start landing some knees to the body, start landing some good elbows on the inside, some good punches to the body as well. And I think we're going to start to see his leg kicks start adding up on Daniel Da Silva. Da Silva still having some success in the second round with his punches, but I think Victor Altamirano is going to start to wear down Daniel Da Silva in the second and third round. And the third round, he's really beating him up quite badly. And I think I'm going to score it a 29-28 to Victor Altamirano based on the last two rounds. Moving on. Up the card, Aori Qileng versus Perrin. I'm going to go with Aori Qileng by a first round KO. I think we're going to see him go out there, take a couple of shots early on, dish a couple of shots back, and I think both guys are going to get into a little bit of a scramble exchange. Perrin's going to take a big shot from Aori Qileng, shoot a takedown. Aori Qileng stuffs it, lands a couple of punches on the way back up, and gets himself out of there. Maybe Perrin tries to go for a single leg against a cage. Aori Qileng lands a couple of elbows to the side of the ear, separates himself, gets back at range, lands some good body shots, then separates again, lands a big overhand, and rocks Perrin badly, and finishes him off against the cage. TKO in the first round for Aori Qileng. Moving on up the card, Amir Albazi versus Francisco Figueiredo. I'm going to go with Amir Albazi here. I think he's going to beat Francisco Figueiredo on the feet. I think Figueiredo's going to be going for some body shots early on. He likes to go for them. And I think Amir Albazi is going to be landing a couple of jabs, a couple of shots over the top. Maybe when they're trading hooks, Figueiredo's going to the body, Amir Albazi's going to the head. Both guys are landing shots, but Figueiredo's being a little bit defensively irresponsible. Albazi's landing some leg kicks. Figueiredo's landing some leg kicks. Albazi starts to go for a takedown. Figueiredo scrambles it, rolls for a leg, can't quite find it. Albazi ends up on top, lands a couple of shots. Figueiredo gets back up to his feet, lands a couple of body shots there against the cage. Figueiredo gets turned around. Amir Albazi's on the clinch against the cage, kneeing the thigh of Francisco Figueiredo, punching him to the body against the cage, kneeing him to the body against the cage, punching him to the head, starts to look to take the back, gets one hook in, couple of punches, the round's over. Round two, I think they're going to be striking again. Figueiredo trying to put on pressure, and as he comes forward after maybe some success on the feet, Amir Albazi times a great double leg takedown. Figueiredo tries to scramble it, and as he tries to get back up against the cage, we're going to see Amir Albazi one hook in, couple of big punches, two hooks in, sets up the body triangle, starts punching the face to free up some time for a rear naked choke, and he cinches it in. Standing rear naked choke for Amir Albazi in the second round is what I'm going to go for. Moving on up the card to the prelims, AJ Fletcher versus Ange Loosa. I'm going to go with Ange Loosa or Ange Loosa by third round TKO here against AJ Fletcher. I think AJ Fletcher's going to take him down a couple of times early on. Ange Loosa's going to work his way back up to his feet. Fletcher will hold him up against a cage, knee him to the thigh, knee him to the body, the usual that you would see against a cage. Both guys landing some shots on the feet. Ange Loosa taking some big shots off AJ Fletcher. Fletcher throwing head kicks that are getting partially blocked. Big overhands that are getting taken and blocked. And here and there, maybe there's a kind of a reaction out of Ange Loosa, but he takes them all pretty well. Starts getting his jab going towards the end of round 1. Fletcher takes him down again. Round 2, similar story. Fletcher takes him down early, but Ange Loosa keeps getting back up to his feet. Then Loosa starts getting his hands going a bit more. Taking some big shots early on in round 2, but as the round goes on, we're going to start to see Ange Loosa start ripping to the body, start landing some jab 2s, start shooting himself just to get AJ Fletcher to think about it. Fletcher works his way back up to his feet. Ange Loosa punching him against a clinch, separates, body shots, head shots. Fletcher trying to throw back with some momentum and trying to get some momentum back for himself, but Ange Loosa staying patient. More body shots, some kicks to the legs now as well that he's more confident defending the takedowns. 1-2s, jabs, body shots again. Round 3 comes around and Ange Loosa, after stuffing a takedown early, shoots back on AJ Fletcher. Fletcher stuffs it, but Ange separates against a cage, lands some body shots, and starts putting the pressure on, and finishes AJ Fletcher against a cage in round 3. With volume, body shots, head shots, a bunch of punches. Round 3 finish for Ange Loosa. Moving on up the card, Sean Woodson versus Luis Saldana. I'm going to go with Sean Woodson via early second round TKO here. I think Sean Woodson, Luis Saldana, they're going to be very patient early on. Luis Saldana's going to be moving away from Sean Woodson. Woodson's going to be beating him with a jab, beating him with some good leg kicks as well. Luis Saldana's going to try and find his way on the inside, but not be able to do it. Maybe shoot a takedown on a single leg after being outstruck early on in the first round. Sean Woodson maybe threatens a guillotine or a dash choke, and then Luis Saldana sort of like bails on the situation. Sean Woodson lands a couple of body shots on the break and a knee and separates, finds his jab at range again, lands some good body kicks, couple of head kicks get partially blocked by Luis Saldana, more leg kicks are landing. Saldana's trying to land some leg kicks back, he's landing a couple of them, he tries to push Woodson up against a cage, he has a bit of success, but Woodson turns him round, gets the tie clinch, knees him to the face, knees him to the body, lands some more body shots, uppercuts, hooks, combos from Sean Woodson. Then in round 2, I think Woodson's going to start fast, knowing that he's got this guy's number, and finish him off with body shots against a cage. Clean left hook, right to the body of Luis Saldana, putting him down. Out goes Luis Saldana in the second round by TKO to body shots. Moving on up the card, Leonardo Santos versus Jared Gordon. I'm going to be going with Jared Gordon via third round submission. Rear naked choke. Maybe arm triangle. I'll say an arm triangle. Third round for Jared Gordon. I think Leonardo Santos lands a couple of decent shots early. Stays good on the feet, very patient. Jared Gordon's trying to push him up against a cage, punch him in the clinch, knee him to the thigh, throw him around a little bit. Santos threatens a guillotine, doesn't quite have it, threatens another submission on the leg. Gordon steps out of it, ends up in half guard on top towards the end of round 1, landing some total strikes. And then again, Leonardo Santos threatens an armbar. Gordon escapes it, lands a couple more shots, starts getting the body lock of Leonardo Santos. Santos works his way back up against a cage. Gordon trips him. Santos back up again. Another knee to the body from Gordon, knees to the thigh. Good head positioning, good punches to the body and the head. Leonardo Santos lands a couple of big shots, has some moments there as well. Gordon recalibrates himself. Both guys go tit for tat on the feet towards the end of round 1. Round 2, Jared Gordon starts very tentative. Leonardo Santos throws some heat early on. He's starting to slow down a little bit already. His age is starting to show, 42 years of age. Jared Gordon goes for a takedown, doesn't get it, ends up against a cage, knees to the thigh, body punches, knees to the body, couple head punches as well. He starts separating and landing some combos. Whenever Santos tries to throw back, he shoots in again on the clinch. This time gets a takedown. Santos works his way back up with a knee to the body from Jared Gordon, who drags down Leonardo Santos again. Santos settles on bottom, looks to try and set up a guard, but Gordon passes over into half guard, landing some good punches, landing some good shots, some good body shots, starts kneeing the body on Santos while he's on the ground as well. More body shots from Jared Gordon. Santos scrambles, tries an armbar. Can't quite find it. Changes to a leg. Gordon steps out of it. Ends up on half guard on top again. Ends up in mount towards the end of round 2, landing big shots. The round's over. Round 3, Jared Gordon, very patient early on, landing some good shots on the feet. Santos tries to respond. Gordon shoots, gets him down, takes mount easily this time, passes over, goes for arm triangle, and gets it done. Third round submission for Jared Gordon on a gassed out Leonardo Santos. Moving on, Marcin Tybura versus Alexander Romanov. I'm going to be going with Alexander Romanov by first round KO, is what I'm going to go with here. I think early on, Tybura is going to throw a couple of teeps, couple of high kicks. Romanov's going to be slamming some lead leg body kicks, some lead leg kicks as well. Inside leg kicks, should I say. Alexander Romanov maybe goes in for a takedown, can't quite find it, gets it for a second. Tybura works his way back up against the cage maybe. Romanov knees to fire a couple of times, lands some more inside leg kicks at range. They're back in the middle of the cage. Tybura again on the back foot, trying to throw some teeps out there, some jabs. Romanov moving on the inside of them. Another inside leg kick from Romanov, really smashing the leg of Marcin Tybura. He gets Tybura back against the cage again, where he shot last time. He's now going to dip down, throw a right overhand, and land it clean on the chin of Marcin Tybura, rocking him badly, and then Romanov finishes him off, lands some shots, rocks him again, maybe takes him out from underneath him with a takedown and finishes him off by TKO to ground and pound. Alexander Romanov gets this one done by first round TKO. Moving on up the card to the main card, Tyson Pedro versus Harry Hunsucker. There's going to be a lot of finishes on this card, maybe until the end. Tyson Pedro gets this one done by Kimura submission. In round 2, it's his favourite submission. He goes for it a lot. And I think in round 1, we're going to see him throwing calf kicks at range, taking a couple of calf kicks as well, but getting the better of that situation. Dodging a couple of wild onslaughts from Harry Hunsucker, coming forward, throwing some heat, throwing some combinations. Pedro lands a jab and moves and keeps moving and then ends up against a cage. Hunsucker's on the clinch. Pedro turns it round, lands a knees to the body and separates. Maybe lands an eye poke or something like that. But back to leg kicks at range. Pedro's winning this game. He's starting to land more teeps to the stomach as well. Again, Hunsucker rushes forward for a big blitz, swinging. Doesn't really land anything. Maybe he lands 1 or 2, but Pedro takes it. He's getting hit with like the last few shots of the combination of Hunsucker, so the power's not quite there compared to the original blows of the combination that he's throwing. And of course, ends up in a clinch again. Turns him round, knees to fire of Hunsucker, knees to body, separates, another leg kick, another teep to the body. Hunsucker swings forward again with another big crazy combination, looking for it. Pedro separates, gets a takedown towards the end of round 1. Who knows who round 1 goes to? Round 2 though. Pedro winning the leg kick game at range, winning the teep game at range as well. Hunsucker tries coming in for another onslaught. Pedro takes him down on a reactionary takedown. They're against the cage. After Pedro gets backed up, he takes him down, circles him round. Now he's pushing against the cage with Harry Hunsucker with a takedown. Starts to take the back position, lands some good punches, tries to put a hook in, can't quite get it. Hunsucker doesn't let him, scrambles, but ends up on bottom. Pedro takes side control, looks for the Kimura, gets the Kimura. Round two submission to Tyson Pedro. Moving on, Yanan Wu versus Lucie Pudilova. I don't know. I don't even remember what I picked for this. This has ended up on the main card. I don't even know what I picked for this fight. I think I picked Yanan Wu to win this one against Lucie Pudilova. So I'm going to go with Yanan Wu via 30-27 unanimous decision. I'm almost certain I picked Yanan Wu over Lucie Pudilova. So I'm going to go with Yanan Wu winning this one at, I don't know what I picked. What did I pick? I'm going to have to check back what I picked because I had a valid reason for it and I don't quite remember what I picked. Women's MMA for you. Couldn't care less, half of these fights. Right, I'm flustered right now. We're going to get to the big fights in a second, but I need to know what I picked. Hang on a second now. Hopefully someone's told the people in the comment sections. Guru picked. Thank you very much. Shots na plazy. I appreciate you. I picked Pudilova. Okay, well, we'll go Lucie Pudilova then. By decision, 30-27, minorly outstriking Yanan Wu every single round, mixing in some takedowns here and there. It's going to be an even fight on the feet, but Lucie Pudilova is going to be smart enough to shoot a takedown at the end of some of the rounds. She's more experienced, and I think she'll get the job done because of it, and I think she's very, very good and underrated, and I reckon she'll have that experience against decent level competition to shoot takedowns at the end of the rounds, end up winning the rounds because of those takedowns as well, and also I think she'll just minorly outstrike Yanan Wu on the feet. 30-27. Lucie Pudilova. Moving on up the card, Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili. This one's interesting. We start the fight. How's Aldo's popping out the jab? Merab Dvalishvili's not liking it too much. He lands a couple of big bombs back on Aldo. Aldo takes it well. Aldo lands a leg kick early on. Didn't think he was going to throw one, but he does, and he lands it. Okay, he starts landing more jabs, landing a 2. Merab starts landing some shots back. He's not shot a takedown yet, though. Another leg kick from Jose Aldo. He moves again. Merab comes forward, throws a leg kick of his own. Aldo checks the second leg kick that Merab throws, and then he starts landing some more jabs. He starts whipping a left hook underneath. As he does this, Merab jumps in, gets a clinch of him, tries to take him down, gets him down for a second, but Aldo gets right back up and whips his hips out of there and gets right back up like a snake, back up to his feet. They're against a cage. Merab's kneeing the thigh, stomping on the foot. Aldo separates. Big knee to the body from Aldo. He separates. He postures. Jab, jab. Merab swings again. Lands, but Aldo takes it well. Merab throws a leg kick again. Aldo moves out of the way of it and pops him with a 2. He moves back again. Another body shot from Aldo and separates. And Merab can't quite get a hold of him this time. And then we're at range again. Aldo gets hit with a leg kick by Merab. He throws one back. Merab shoots on it. Can't quite get the takedown, though. They end up against a cage. Aldo punching him in the face against a cage, landing some knees. Merab kneeing the thigh. Trips down Aldo again. Aldo gets right back up. Punches the face. Merab trips him again. Aldo gets right back up. Separates, moves. Jabs. Body shot. Separates again. Lands a leg kick. Merab throws a jab, and Aldo does his crazy head movement all over the place to move out of the way of it. And lands another 2 on Merab's face. And then Merab ends the round, clinching Aldo against a cage. Aldo's done more damage. Merab's got a couple of takedowns. It should go Aldo's way. Round 2. Merab opens up with a leg kick. It gets checked by Aldo. Aldo lands one back. Merab's too slow to catch it for a takedown. Jab from Aldo. 2 from Aldo. Body shot from Aldo. Merab shoots. Aldo throws him off with a whizzer. Gets out of there. Lands a knee to the body on Merab on the way back up. Lands another right hand as well. Now he's pressuring Merab, and he's starting to be a bit more of the ball. Merab's being a bit more predictable in his shots, and Aldo's stuffing him early and moving him away. Jab from Aldo. Knee to the body from Aldo. As Merab comes in, Merab shoots. Gets it. Aldo takes his hips out of place. Ends up against a cage. Maybe goes for a trip on Merab. Can't quite get it. They're against a cage. He separates the grip of Merab, grabs a single collar, punches Merab in the clinch, knees him to the body again. Merab feels the knee to the body. Aldo separates, jab. Merab comes forward again, trying to get the takedown. He can't get it. Aldo throws him off against a cage. Big knee to the body from Aldo again. Uppercut, right hand off the same hand. Leg kick, body shot, left hand, knee to the body. Merab's hurt to the body. He goes down. Aldo follows up. TKO in the second round for Jose Aldo, the legend. I really hope. It could be bad, and he could get mashed up like he did against Yanan in the 5th round, but we'll see. I think this is what's going to happen. Moving on, Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. I've got immediate Paulo Costa KO. I think Paulo Costa runs across the cage straight away, throws a big kick. Luke Rockhold tries to throw a front kick. Misses it, gets clipped with a shot. Rockhold moves backwards. He starts moving some footwork, trying to get some footwork going. Paulo Costa starts landing some shots. Rockhold looks for a jab. Costa slips on the inside of it, lands a right hand, lands a body shot, moving again, switch kick to the body from Paulo Costa. Rockhold tries to kick him. Costa blocks it, throws again, lands a left hook. Rockhold gets a little stumbled, and Paulo Costa puts the pressure on, starts swinging big combos against the cage. Rockhold tried some head movement, but gets caught by some of them, and all of a sudden he's shooting for the clinch, looking for the clinch on Paulo Costa, tries to take him down, but Costa doesn't let him. Shakes him off. Is a lot stronger than Rockhold thought he would be. Rockhold doesn't really get the clinch. He separates at range again. They end up in the center. Paulo Costa keeps the pressure on, starts pouring at the lead hand of Rockhold. Rockhold throws a front kick. It lands. He tries to throw a switch kick to the head. Paulo Costa blocks it. He tries to throw a body kick. Paulo Costa checks it with his elbow. Lands an inside leg kick back on Luke Rockhold. Lands a body kick on Luke Rockhold. Lands some big punches against the cage again. Rocks Rockhold again. Starts swarming on Rockhold. Separates as Rockhold looks for the clinch. Rockhold back in the center of the cage. Paulo Costa feeling it, smelling some blood, walking down Luke Rockhold again. Rockhold tries to throw a switch kick on the way back, and as he does it, boom, left hook as Paulo Costa steps in, lands clean on Luke Rockhold's chin. Down he goes. 2.5 minutes into the first round. Moving on, up the card, Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards via 49-46 unanimous decision victory against Kamaru Usman. One judge will give it 48-47 Usman. 2 judges will give it, I guess split decision. 2 judges will give it 49-46 Edwards. Round 1, clear Edwards round, I think is going to happen. Usman lands a couple of decent shots, but Edwards lands good leg kicks, good body kicks, good jabs as well. Looks on another level to Usman on the stand-up. Usman still looking for shots. He ends up shooting a takedown in the halfway mark of the first round. Can't quite find it. Edwards separates, lands an elbow and cuts Usman's eye. Usman lands a knee back in the clinch. Edwards knees back. They're both kneeing each other in like an over-under position. Edwards sort of like throws him off, and then Usman shoots. Tries to get it. Can't quite get it. Edwards spreads his legs. Gets the underhook. Stands Usman back up. Usman lands some knees to the thigh, some foot stomps, some punches. Edwards gets the double unders, separates himself, moves away, lands a jab, lands a leg kick, lands a switch kick to the body as well. Usman starts pressuring forward again, jabbing Edwards a couple of times. Edwards jabs with him and gets the better of it. Usman starts getting the better of it here and there, pushes Edwards up against the cage towards the end of round 1. Edwards wins the first round. He's cut open Usman above the eye with an elbow, and he's done more damage. Round 2. Edwards lands a couple of leg kicks early. Usman shoots. Can't quite get it. Edwards is against the cage. Moving on the outside. He separates himself from the cage. Lands a knee to the body. Lands an elbow again. That partially lands this time. Moves out the way. Both guys are jabbing at range. Edwards is starting to follow up the jab here and there with a 1-2. Usman's getting a bit frustrated with himself. He's starting to swing a bit reckless, and Edwards is like moving out the way and doing some good head movement and moving and circling. Inside leg kick from Edwards. Body kick from Edwards. And then in the second round, Edwards is going to throw a right hand, and then he's going to throw another one, a feint of a right hand. And as Usman reacts and tries to sort of parry it, Edwards fakes it and throws a left head kick out of nowhere, clips Usman, wobbles him a bit. Edwards starts pressuring. As he does, Usman shoots against him. Can't quite get it. Edwards knees him to the body. Usman starts kneeing the thigh against the cage, stomping on the foot, punching the body, punching the head, trying to buy himself some time. Shoots another takedown. Can't quite get it. Edwards defends, separates his legs, knees the body again, moves out the way. They're back at range. Another leg kick from Edwards. Round 3. Edwards leg kicking at range early on. Jabbing early on as well. Moving. Usman trying to jab. Edwards moving out the way and right hooking. Usman's really putting on the pressure now as well. But he's landing some big shots now. He's landing some right hands. He's landing some jabs on Edwards. Edwards eventually against the cage, thinking a shot's going to come. Usman tries to swing on him. He moves out the way. Left hook, uppercut combo from Edwards. Usman stumbles a little bit again, and Edwards kicks. Partially blocked by Usman, the head kick, but Usman's still a little bit stumbled. Gives Edwards some space. Now Edwards on the aggressive a bit. 1-2, body kick. Lands. Usman tries to shoot off of it. Throws Edwards across the cage, trying to use brute strength. Edwards ends up down on one knee, works his way back up. Usman knees him to the body on the way back up, lands some punches, but Edwards gets double unders, circles out, separates himself, lands a knee of his own, lands an elbow. Usman starting to land some jabs at range. Usman still pressuring, looks for another takedown towards the end of round 3, finds a takedown towards the end of round 3. Edwards ends up getting back up on one knee against the cage, back up to his feet, another knee to the body from Edwards, and they're back at range. Round 3, closer round, but Edwards wins it because he rocked Usman at one moment with like an uppercut left hook combo. One judge is going to somehow give it to Usman because that's what they do. Moving on to round 4. Edwards-Usman round 4. I think we're going to see Usman again trying to put on the pressure. Edwards landing some jabs early. We're starting to see Edwards covered in sweat a bit. He's slowing down just a little bit. We're going to see Edwards shoot on Usman. I think at this point in round 4, he's going to try and change it up a bit. He might get a split takedown, but Usman right back up to his feet. No problems there for Usman. He works his way back up. Edwards lands a knee to the body, a leg kick on knee to the thigh and stuff like that against the cage. Starts looking to take the back with one hook in, and Usman fights the hands and finds his way out of it. Edwards lands an elbow as Usman's hands are down, trying to fight the grip of Edwards, and they separate. Edwards is the one pressuring. A jab. Usman jabs back. Edwards moves out of the way. Tries to throw another head kick. It's getting a bit sloppier though. Inside leg kick from Leon Edwards. Usman starts pressuring again. Jab 2 from Usman. He lands a big right hand. Edwards feels it a little bit. He starts backing up. Usman fakes a punch and shoots. Gets Edwards down, starts landing some shots. Edwards works his way back up against the cage, gets double unders, safe against the cage, big knee to the body from Edwards, big elbow from Edwards as well. Couple of rapid punches in the clinch towards the end of the round. Very close round. Argue Usman, argue Edwards. We'll see how it goes. Round 5. Edwards is slowing down. There's danger, okay? Edwards starts out good. He lands a couple of leg kicks early. Usman's starting to feel those leg kicks as well. They're affecting his takedowns. They're affecting his jab. He can't put his weight on his lead leg, but he's still going anyway. He starts pushing Edwards up against the cage. Edwards gets double unders, circles it round again, separates, looks for an elbow, but it misses. He starts sort of like chuckling to himself, like, I missed that one this time. I'm starting to slow down a bit. Jabs at range from both of them. 2 lands from Leon Edwards. He lands it well. We're getting into about 3 minutes left of the 5th round. Usman starts landing some good shots. They're in the over-unders again in the clinch after clashing after some missed blows. Usman's kneeing the body. Edwards is kneeing the body. Usman's landing more knees to the body on Edwards than Edwards is landing on him. Usman starts to separate and punch in the clinch. Edwards gets to clinch. Double unders, tries to shoot, can't quite get it. Usman sprawls, takes the back position, drives Edwards to the cage, lands some punches as Edwards gets back up to his feet. Usman shoots again, gets it, lands some punches as Edwards gets back up to his feet. Edwards double unders, he's clinging on, lands a knee to the body. Couple rapid punches. Usman landing some punches back. Separates, starts swinging like crazy. Edwards dips and moves. He looks visibly panicked. He's starting to slow down, but he lands like a little combo in the middle of it. And Usman shoots again. Takes him down. Edwards works his way back up. Usman gets to back position, drags Edwards down. Edwards on the ground, trying to work his way back up. Usman landing a couple of punches here and there. Fight over. Round 5 Usman. Round 4 either way. 1, 2, and 3 clearly on Edwards. 49-46 by 2 of the judges. 48-47 Usman by 1 of them, because there's always one that gives it to these guys. So, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip. Also, I make a second channel, the MMA Guru Clips. Check that one out if you want to. And I'm live every day doing an MMA Q&A, so yeah. I'm also going to be live for the event doing a fight companion the whole way through, so tune in to all those good things. Toodle pip.